It's an exclusive interview with Times Now's Natasha Esrani in Washington. Former chief of counter-terrorism unit of the CIA, Vincent Canestraro, has said it was impossible that the ISI was not aware of Osama bin Laden's whereabouts in Pakistan.
We're joined by Vincent Canestraro. He was a former head of the counterterrorism unit at the CIA. To start with, Vincent, what was your first reaction when you found out that bin Laden had been caught and killed in Pakistan?
Well, I wasn't terribly surprised he was caught in Pakistan. I am surprised that he was found in an area so close to the capital, Islamabad. I always thought that he would be in the tribal areas along the border. So it was a surprise he was able to be found inside a urban area and a place where he had been for over 5.5 years without being detected.
Now, Pakistan has underlined very often in the last 1 week that they had no intelligence on Osama bin Laden being at that compound. Do you find that believable?
No, it's very difficult to believe that the ISI, the military intelligence units, wouldn't know where bin Laden was when he was so close to where they were headquartered. Clearly, he had some support to be where he was without being detected and without coming to the knowledge of the top level of the Pakistani government. But clearly at the intelligence level, someone knew.
So many conspiracy theories which are now floating around, one of them being now reported by The Guardian in the United Kingdom that Pakistan and the US reached some sort of deal on Osama bin Laden a few years back, that they decided that if he was found in Pakistan, then the US would have the right or given the permission to go ahead with the unilateral strike, even though Pakistan would talk about against it publicly. Do you think it's possible that any such deal could have been made?
No, there wasn't any deal. There was certainly a close working relationship with the Pakistanis for a long period of time on terrorism, but there was always a very strange relationship between members of ISI with the Pakistani Taliban and members of militant groups that carried out terrorist activity inside Afghanistan, what the Pakistani ISI used to call the good Taliban and the bad Taliban. So they clearly had some links there for a long time. And over a period of time, many efforts by the United States to follow through on the evidence that they did have where bin Laden might be didn't receive a great deal of support from the Pakistanis. So I think there was a certain amount of skepticism that started to build up among the Americans, and particularly in the Central Intelligence Agency, about what were the links between some members of the ISI and Al-Qaeda. And clearly there was some knowledge at a certain point that people who had been in ISI, who were retired, actually were found dealing with some members of the Al-Qaeda. So it does become a bit concerning to Barack Obama when he's trying to launch an operation. Why should they let the tips about this operation be leaked by people who might be sympathetic to Al-Qaeda? And I think that was the major reason why the Pakistanis were not told in advance of the operation.
They've actually implicated someone called Major Iqbal, who's believed to be an ISI agent. How significant is the fact that the US is going after the ISI, even though they wouldn't name the ISI in that particular court document, but they are going after an alleged agent of the ISI?
Well, I think we have seen some contacts between members of the ISI and the group inside Pakistan that is implicated in the Mumbai operation, and that's a great concern. Some of that will likely come out in a court process because there is a judicial process underway here in the United States. And so that is going to point at some people in ISI. I think that's the real concern, and that's one of the reasons that Pakistan wasn't going to be relied upon when they were running this bin Laden operation because of the concern that information about the raid might be tipped off to some of the Al Qaeda people and ruin the operation.
Former CIA counter-terrorism chief Vincent Canestraro has dismissed the idea that Pakistan and the United States could have reached a deal over a unilateral strike on Osama bin Laden. He said that while the CIA and ISI have worked closely together in counter-terrorism operations, the idea of such a deal is unlikely. In Washington, D.C., Natasha Strani for Times Now.